And we are freaking live. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Superhero Cut Show, where we talk about things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, per usual, joined by the usual comic cuts, and we do have a new guest. Okay, now his name is Bullet. Okay, so when you watch this today, just comment on the live stream and say, "Yo, Bullet, well, what's good?" Hey, Bullet, welcome to the show, bro. So happy you were here, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, man. Back like I said, back into comics, back into drawing. I'm gonna start drawing comics. I'm gonna start drawing up my own stuff again, and hopefully I come up with some good characters. The
Yeah.
original characters, not like any of these characters based on other characters and reused time and time again type of stuff.
Yeah,
No
You
awesome,
doubt.
know,
bro.
I
so.
Awesome.
respect that.
But yeah, thanks. Thanks, for asking and everything, and I appreciate you having me on. By the way,
Of course, man.
Happy to
Anytime.
do it.
Comic cuts, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well as always. Happy to be here. Happy to put on for our growing subscriber base. Thank you. We
Yeah, we
appreciate
hit
you.
654
Um,
today.
yeah, crazy, crazy. It feels like we're moving faster and faster. So just wanted to say we appreciate all of you out there. I'm going to take my glasses off because obviously the reflection gets in the way.
Yes, yes. It's so annoying. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so
happy
by the way, happy Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Shout out
Yep.
to all the fallen soldiers. I have a bunch of family that serve, so this holiday is very awesome. Okay, so we're
I
about to
agree.
get into. So we are going to talk about some. We are going to rank all of the live action Batman films, but before we get into that, I do want to tell you guys because the director of the Flash, and just to make this clear, because people keep thinking that we're talking about Grant Gustin. No, no, no. The Flash movie. The director of the Flash movie was asked about doing the Batman movie, and comic cuts. You can talk about what he said and
Yeah.
give your
So
POV.
I the quote was almost directly along the lines of I meant to write it down. Sorry that I didn't, but it was basically, what do you think you would? The question the interviewer asked him was, "What do you think you would do with the Brave and Batman Brave and the Bold?" And Andy answered, by saying, I really can't say what I would do yet. So it seemed like he might be hinting that he is at the very least in talks to direct Batman the Brave and the Bold. Now, for those of you who have seen the Flash movie, obviously Stevie and I,
I'm
broke
waiting.
down what we saw, what we felt about the Flash movie last week. So if you want to check that out, check out last week's episode. I'm actually going with Bullet opening night in New York. We're going to see it. It was amazing. I do
Yes,
think Andy
sir.
Muschietti, he made this movie and it was unlike anything we've ever seen before. The multiverse, he really took risks. There were things that were done with the Flash's character that have never been done to the main hero or really any hero in a Superman hero movie ever. And those risks really could have fell flat on their face, and they didn't. They really paid off. The movie carried pretty much the same message as Spider-Man: No Way Home, but it drove it further. And I think you're all going to really like this movie. And I think once this movie comes out, you're going to, agree with my take that I'm going to tell you right here is that I would love Andy Muschietti to direct Batman the Brave and the Bold. I think the guy has the chop for it. He's obviously talented. He's obviously good at working with actors that, listen, I don't know what Ezra Miller's like to work with personally, but I could imagine that being a difficult task. He's obviously, you know, whatever. You get my point. I think
Yeah.
Andy is great for Batman, and I thought it was important that we mention that.
I just want to throw something in there. Even with what you were trying to get at with Ezra, he's still he was the right person for the part, no matter
I
what.
agree. I 100% agree.
I
I
mean,
loved him as the Flash, and I hope they keep him as the Flash.
I hope so
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I want the Russos to do Batman. My personal opinion. I wanted Andy to do Superman. To be honest, I thought he was going to be the guy to do Superman Legacy.
Okay.
And I like to me, Andy is what Zack Snyder was supposed to be for DC films. Andy, one of Andy's strengths is he knows how to take really big characters and balance them in film to where everybody gets their own moment. And the Flash was a perfect a, example of that.
Testament.
Like, yeah, like he didn't overbearingly like he just wasn't very overbearing with who the movie focused on. Like he let you know that the movie was focused on the Flash, but and obviously Keaton and them had their roles, but Andy really knows how to make a really key focus on the characters that matter. So I mean, if he is to do Batman, it would make sense because this isn't just Batman. I mean, he's gonna have to control the Bat family. Nightwing, Batgirl, Batwoman. I mean, there's gonna be a bunch of characters that he's gonna have to manage. So I wouldn't be shocked. But me personally, I want the Russos to take that because I saw what they did with Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and they single handedly made Captain America be more Batman than Batman in that film. So I would love that. But hey, man, I'm fine with either. Andy has a lot to prove in my eyes, because of just the simple fact that like I mean, there's only one movie when I've seen the Russos do it like a bunch of times. But hey, man, I'm down for whatever.
It's a valid point. Also, by the way, and I was talking about this with Bullet earlier, there are a couple of different like storylines of recent memory from DC Comics with the Flash and Batman. There's Flashpoint, there's the Button, there's Flashpoint Beyond, and all of those are absolutely fire. And I think that like the Flash really captured, the Batman Flash. Well,
You got that last one too that I got right. The Flashpoint Batman series where it was he was
Bruce's
keeping
father, Thomas Wayne.
Right.
That's the new one,
Condensed
Flashpoint Beyond.
Yeah. I thought that was actually excellent.
Yeah, I agree. Unreal. I hope they do more.
I wish I could get the rest of the miniseries, but I can't find it anyway.
Yeah, I made sure to pick up, I think, all of them when they came out because I knew that those were going to go crazy. Like, even before I read them and I was, like, putting off reading them, I was like, this shit's going to be fire. And, just anytime you see Flashpoint Batman, it's worth picking it up.
Agreed.
Oh, definitely. I took 100%. Yeah, all around.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay. So we obviously all are on board for Andy to take this film. And Bullet, bro, after you see this Flash film, you're going to understand how we feel. And I would love for you to come back on when we do another Flash review where we can talk spoilers because you're going to be going crazy.
Okay.
You're going to be super hyped. Okay, so we are about to get,
and I don't want to cut you off, but he's like also one of my favorites. He's one of my favorites.
the Flash.
I mean, aside from the Flash,
that's what's up,
Nightwing, Batman, so I can't wait to see this.
Awesome, bro. Perfect. Okay, so we are about to get into our rankings. Look, you guys are going to be mad at me, so I apologize from the start. I'm going to clip, and let me say, I'm going to clip these moments because these are going to get us so many views. I'm going to get destroyed on TikTok for what I'm about to do. I already know it. Actually, let me change my
George
virtual.
Clooney. George Clooney.
Let me change my friggin' virtual background to the actual Batcave. Okay, there we go. I'm in the Batcave now. Comic Cuts, I'm with you, bro, in the friggin' Batcave. Here we go. Okay, so yo, bro, see my friggin' bat suit in the back.
We need to cue the Batman theme song right now,
dude. I would get copyrighted so bad, dude. I would if I could. Okay,
I know.
So all right, so the order that we're gonna go is Comic Cuts first, Bullet second, then me last. All right, so now number 9. This is your least favorite Batman film. Go, Comic Cuts.
Batman and Robin. I almost don't even count it as a Batman movie. It is so bad that the only time I ever think about this movie is when I'm looking at the bottom.
I knew you were going to say this, dude.
The Chris,
say this.
The Chris O'Donnell one. With Chris O'Donnell when he first that was awful.
Man,
I knew you were going to go hard on this one. Oh my god!
Guess who the villain was in this movie? Mr.
Oh yeah, but wait till he gets to Christian Bale.
I love
that was Batman. Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, dude, that movie is bad. I ain't gonna lie. And there is nothing worse than that part when Poison Ivy is at that charity event. and literally we were watching prostitution happen before our eyes. Batman was so horny. This man pulled out a Batman credit card. You guys remember that, bro? As a society, we said nothing. We just let that slide. Like that was kind of crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forget the black Amex. I got the black Batman card.
Exactly. Okay. Bullet, you're up, bro. Number 9. Oh god.
Number 9. I'm gonna have to agree. Same thing, man. I the whole Dayglow fight scenes with the with like the light sticks. I thought I was watching a rave, like Batman in a rave. I'd rather watch the show with Adam West, which was way better produced. The acting was, I mean, come on, back in the 70s, but you know what I'm saying? It's down there. It's at 9. I agree. I have to agree.
Okay. Now, from my number
Here comes
9
Christian
is
Bale. Here comes
my
Christian
number
Bale
9.
soon.
Yeah, my number 9 is The Dark Knight.
Yo, that
I
don't even believe you. I don't even believe
I'm dead serious. The
No.
Dark Knight is my least favorite Batman film. I don't think the movie. No, I think the Dark Knight is not good. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the movie's good at all.
Why would you not
But-
be honest? First of all,
Just being honest, I don't think the movie's good. But one of the biggest reasons why I don't like this is the Joker. I have never been a fan of Christian Bale's Batman. I just think that Christian Bale plays a great Bruce Wayne, but a very bad Batman. I wasn't a fan of how they forced this whole Rachel thing. I do think the best part of the movie was Harvey Dent. I think the guy that played Harvey Dent was amazing. But other than that, I mean, to me, this movie was like honestly mid. And I just personally think that the one thing that Christopher Nolan does that's really, the one thing that Christopher Nolan does that annoys me to no end is that he loves doing these really long dialogues. And with the Joker, right? The Joker in the comics is a man of action. Yes, the Joker talks, but like when you read the freaking comic, it is rare that you actually see like the Joker doing a 5-minute monologue. And like most of the movie was Heath Ledger doing these crazy monologues, like, I had a razor. Like, bro, like just kill people, do your thing. So yeah, man. The Dark Knight to me is I'm not gonna say it is the worst film, but it is my least favorite. Actually, no. To me, I think it is one of the worst Batman films of all time. And now as a movie, if I'm not viewing it in the eyes of a comic book viewer, it is a great movie. But if I'm talking about as a Batman movie, if I'm a diehard Batman fan and I go to see this, I do not like it. My personal opinion.
I'd rather see George Clooney and Val Kilmer than see him.
Val Kilmer is a better Batman than Bale, but no one.
That's what I'm than Christian. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. So now, wait, Comic-Cuts, do you have anything to say?
yeah, first of all,
You get cooked right now.
I'm Batman.
This is one of the most impactful comic book movies of all time. This movie did so much for the genre, and also it did a lot for the genre of filmmaking. I hate calling movies films, by the way, because I think it's fucking.
Let me just turn the lights on. Sorry, guys.
And listen, the Joker was incredible. I don't think the monologues were too long. I think the dialogue and everything that came out of the Joker's mouth during the movie was pretty comic accurate. And I think the movie really kept you on your toes the entire time. With you kept anticipating what was going to happen, even down to that final fight scene when they were on the boat and you didn't know if one of them was going to blow up before the other. The sonar, Lucius Fox, Alfred, and listen, I think Christian Bale could very well be the best Batman of all time.
Oh my God! I
Listen
can't
to
believe
me.
I just heard that.
Comic-Cuts, bro.
I love
Hear me out though.
Batman.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. Everything.
All right.
Hold on. Everything that you just said, Comic-Cuts, right, happened in Batman Begins, and was 10 times better than what happened in The Dark Knight. We literally got all of that without the long, annoying dialogue. Bro, honestly, if I keep the book, Scarecrow and Ra's al Ghul were way better bad guys than Joker.
True. But I mean, personally, I like Heath Ledger Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, in the movie, I mean, I loved him. I think he did a
Okay.
great job. I think that was the best part of the movie, though. The rest of it,
Heath Ledger's Joker is what made the Joker
that's the only thing that made the movie.
to everyone outside
For me.
comic book fandom.
Nah, that Joe's big, bro. But all right, number 8. Look, this is the one thing that comic contains on. He says that I don't appreciate the old films, and I do. I love Iron Man 1. I don't know which one for me. Okay, all right. Number 8, comic cuts. Here you go, brother. Your turn.
Number 8, I would go Batman Forever.
You are a scoundrel, bro. I swear to God.
Yo, I mean, how do you rank a movie? You know how the decision making was bad on that movie? They
You're a
chose to
scoundrel.
use rubber nipples. Okay, you like a movie with rubber nipples? Like
I had a
fucking
feeling that was
weirdo,
coming.
bro.
Oh man, this guy. Okay. Any other reasons why you don't like it? Batman Forever?
Yeah, it may have not been as cheesy as Batman and Robin, but it was cheesy. Two-Face, that's probably the worst Two-Face of all time. Comic books, movies, TV shows. Jim Carrey's Riddler. Listen, no disrespect to Jim Carrey, but that Riddler was like, dude, it was brutal. Listen, Val Kilmer, yes, he wasn't as bad of a Batman as everyone said, but just the directing of that movie, the action scenes, it was just, the whole thing was corny. It's a corny fucking movie. When you go to watch a Batman movie, you're not choosing Batman Forever. Ever. Who
Bro,
sits
you
down
hating,
and is
bro.
like, I want to watch Batman Forever? Seriously.
I think it's the latex nipples on the costume that sent him overboard.
Bro,
Yeah.
Batman Forever is underrated, but I'm going to save it for my ranking. Okay, I respect your opinion.
I like Two-Face in it, so
Same here. Okay, all right, bro. It is your turn.
let's see. I'm sorry, but I just couldn't get down with the Robert Pattinson. I couldn't get down with the Batman. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I liked all the in-depth characters. I liked everything. I just think it was they spent too much time with the Riddler coming out. I mean, I think he could have. I think he could have had a better storyline in the whole movie. You know, Paul Dano.
Yeah, I
think he just could have had a better storyline, and that's really all it is. That's really the only reason why I would give it that ranking. That's it.
That is blasphemous.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I feel bad saying it. I feel bad saying it because, but it's just.
Wow.
It's like, man,
wow.
I mean, give the guy some more. Give the guy some more like,
scenes. But how'd you like Robert Pattinson's Batman? Like, would you say that he's the best Batman ever?
You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear my best Batman.
Who is it? Let me hear.
I'd have to say.
I know.
Well, I mean, I'm 42, so I'd say.
Just say it. Let me hear it.
Michael Keaton, Ben Affleck, Val Kilmer, and then probably Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
I can't believe Michael Keaton's number one.
Wow.
That's what I grew up with. I mean, him and Adam West.
I remember in high school, I had a friend, and we were talking about who's the best Batman. And I remember I had a friend who said Michael Keaton, and every one of my friends ripped on him from that moment on.
Well, I mean, he's a good actor. That's, I mean,
yeah.
Maybe I'm going too far with the Batman thing, but he's a good actor.
Yeah, but well, so at first people definitely didn't like Michael Keaton, just and like there were even like people like making news ads saying like he just like he's supposed to be this big strong guy, but nowadays look at in retrospect, people do have mad respect for Batman 1989. I do the movie does have a lot of flaws, which I've pointed out in many
Oh,
videos, but I do respect that.
The truth
I mean,
is,
yeah,
Tim Burton should have never been ever been directing a
agree.
Batman movie.
but we
That was
spoke
so
about
dumb.
this earlier. We spoke about
Yeah.
this earlier, remember? And I
Yeah.
don't think he's not the director for those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly,
That's plain
and
and
I see
simple. I
him
mean,
the same way I see, and Tim Burton is the same way I see Zack Snyder. They shouldn't touch superhero movies ever in their lives. Okay, all right. So who? All right. So who? All right. Am I at number 8?
I think you're
Okay.
next.
My number 8 is Batman and Robin. The movie is egregious and unwatchable. And as I said before, right, the Poison Ivy credit card thing was really stupid. The whole idea of Robin being literally a grown man, but is trying to get out of Batman. It was just terrible. And then on top of that, they gave Robin basically a Nightwing suit with Robin colors on it.
Yeah.
Just literal
yeah.
idiocy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then we had the same Alfred, and then Alfred was basically dying in the movie, which was dumb. What else happened in this freaking film? I think Poison Ivy was good. But that's about it.
I have
George
to agree with
Clooney,
I'd agree with the Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
I think she did a great job.
and she was cool. And George Clooney is legit like dog water. And honestly,
You would get
I personally think that with a better director, George Clooney would have actually been a great Batman. And I actually see why they were doing it, because George Clooney gives off like Bruce Wayne vibes. Like he would be a great Bruce Wayne. But there are some people, in my opinion, were like, as much as I think George Clooney could have done a way better job, there's nothing in my brain that when I look at George Clooney, I don't see Batman whatsoever. And it is the same way of like when I look at Tom Cruise, right? I look at a great dude that will be probably a great Tony Stark, right? He will be great in those type of roles. He would never be a good Batman, and that's how I take a look at George. Like, dude, you guys were just looking at like the most handsome guy in the room. Pause. And then, you just kind of went with that, and as I said, George Clooney is not a bad actor. I've seen him act in some great movies. Batman was just not for him. And we all saw that.
Yeah.
And they basically made a joke out of this film. Like Batman wasn't even taking himself serious. So yeah. And because I don't know if you guys know this, but a lot of this movie's inspiration came from the Adam West Batman films. And you can tell the inspiration on it because it's so because they just make a joke out of everything. And when you go from a dark Michael Keaton Batman film to Val Kilmer, and as much as people hate, I mean, Val Kilmer did a really good job as Bruce Wayne. His Batman wasn't too strong, but I think he was really good. And the movie was still to an extent dark. When you go from straight darkness to a jokey film of Batman, of course fans are going to like despise it and hate it.
Yeah, you can't do something. You can't do something like that.
Yeah, and by the way, that movie is just more proof that Mr. Freeze should never be. He shouldn't even be a Batman villain. He fucking sucks. He's so boring.
and look, bro, look.
And I actually like him.
Yeah, he hates Mr. Freeze so much.
In the comics.
Yeah.
And people on TikTok destroy him, bro. Like he makes people and don't worry, this is going online, bro. Everything you're saying, I'm clipping for views. Right. But hear me out. People on TikTok get so mad at Comic Cuts when he freaking talks about this. They be like, "How could you say this?" They get so emotional.
You know what? So, I think
No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think that we have a real problem with the comic book movie fandom these days. And I think that problem stems from people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about and just listening to some other moron online say, oh, Mr. Freeze should be the villain because there was a lot of water at the end of the Batman 2 and Mr. Freeze could like freeze it and make a bigger problem. It fits perfectly, bro. Like, how stupid are you? It's the dumbest argument. driving me nuts, man.
Oh my god.
Is one moron
There was too
to
much
say
water.
something, and then everyone else say it. Oh, there's a lot of water, man. Yeah, Mr.
I got my
Freeze
diamonds.
it. Like,
Yeah.
shut
So
up.
obviously, Comic Cuts hates Mr. Freeze like with a passion. The same way
I
he hates the
hear.
word. The same way he hates the word wonderful, which
I-
went on to rant about last episode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's
So
either
we are going
miserable or
to.
nothing.
Yeah, he hates that word, dude. Okay. Now we are going number 7. Okay. Now, give me your pick of your 7th favorite Batman film and why.
Who is it?
Comic Cuts, you, bro.
All right, hold on. I look at my list. Sorry, I gotta put my glasses on for a sec.
Yeah, I didn't even
Right.
make my list. So
You're good, bro.
So I am
I
gonna
was so excited
go.
about the Robin stuff.
This one's an easy one.
I love
Batman
Nightwing.
89.
You said what?
Batman 89.
Michael Keaton?
Yeah.
You're about to get
Oh,
mad.
you dirty!
Yo,
Why?
First, it's not really Michael Keaton's fault. It's
Tim Burton.
it's Tim Burton and WB's fault. WB never should have hired Tim Burton. Tim Burton never should have been making this movie. And also, like, I'm sorry, but for all the crowd out there that loves to knock everything for not being canon, never talks about the fact that they gave the Joker a name. Like, that's the whole point of the Joker, is you don't really know who it is.
Oh, and that one it
Jack
was
Napier. Jack Napier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Right.
and he shows up. Spoiler alert if you're into the Batman comics, but he shows up in Batman 135. At part of that multiverse
That's the one.
story.
That's the one I have.
Yes.
That I picked
and
up,
like
yeah.
that was the only time Jack Napier was cool. Listen, that movie. Like, when I sit down to watch a Batman movie, this movie doesn't even count from the movies that I choose from.
That's harsh, bro. That's harsh. I mean, I have to agree. I have to agree with Tim Burton, but Michael Keaton, man, I think he pulled it. I think he pulled the movie through. He carried the movie.
I think that he is going to get a lot of justice with fans from his portrayal of Batman in The Flash. Like, he really was used perfectly. And it shows how much these actors put their reputation on the line when they sign on with a clown-ass director like Tim Burton. Tim Burton, listen, and I'm not saying he's a bad director. He's not. But he's not a comic book movie director.
Everything he does is corny, colorful, and then
Wednesday is amazing though. Wednesday is a masterpiece. Which you worked on.
The Netflix?
I even think Wednesday's a bit overrated.
All right, bro. Stop, bro.
Because you're
the one that made me watch it.
The TV show?
Sorry.
I liked it.
I did like it. I did like the show, but I do think it was overrated.
I binged it.
Wednesday's amazing, bro. You're smoking right now. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I binged that shit.
Yeah, he's tripping. All right, bullet number 7. What's your 7?
One that made me watch it.
Yeah, bro. I had to watch it.
So what have we gone through so far?
You picked the Batman and Robin, and then you picked the Batman with Robert Pattinson. So.
Oh yeah.
I picked my least favorite was the I said it was Christian Bale, right? Christian Bale.
No, you haven't said Bale Batman.
If not, that's it right now.
Well, which one? There's 3 of them.
Well, I'd have to say the worst one had to be with Bane.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
I really don't think Tom Hardy did justice to Bane at all. And I think the way that they transitioned Bane from the way people like, I guess, myself and other people follow comics, he didn't seem like Bane to me.
Yeah.
I mean, could talk like this through a mask. I didn't see any venom pumping through him. I mean, come on, for real. I'd rather see Bane from Batman and Robin.
I was born in the dark.
Nobody knows the speed under the stars. I mean, come on, get the fuck out of here, Done.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale has got to be the hardest person to work with as far as an actor. But when I heard him go, I'm Batman, I almost fucking pissed myself laughing. I didn't hear Michael Keaton going, I'm Batman. And then when he's Bruce Wayne, hi, I'm Bruce Wayne. Here's my black Amex, my black Batman card.
Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. Okay, so we have. I respect
Michael
it though.
Keaton would
I
kick the
respect
shit
it.
out of him in a street fight.
No.
Kick Christian Bale's ass in a
You are
street
slow.
fight. See,
No way. No
Michael
way.
Keaton is a pimp. He's a pimp, even with the nipples.
Yo, first of
Even
all,
with the nipples, he would be beating him with his Batman nipples and be like, "You're Batman? No, I'm Batman." The fuck out! Come on.
Nah, Christian Bale is cooking that man, bro. Christian Bale husky. No, Christian Bale. Him.
Stevie, I think we need to title this episode "Even with the Nipples."
Yo, I should do bat nipples. Let's call this bat nipples. Bat nipple rankings. Okay, all right. So, bat nipple rankings. Okay, so my number 7 is Batman versus Superman. I think this movie is one of the most. Yeah, BVS for me is number 7. I actually, and this might be shocking. I think that Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, and Batman wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Like when I first saw it, I actually do enjoy parts of it. I just think that when it comes to, Ben Affleck, it's like, I don't know. It just seems like some of the direction. All right, how can I explain this? Okay, one of the things that I didn't like is how, number one, there was a dead Robin in this. And Zack Snyder ended up saying that was Dick Grayson. Okay, Zack Snyder is a lore killer. He's an idiot. Number one. Anyways, So wow. I didn't really like that. I also don't like how Zack Snyder didn't make Batman's goal clear in the film, because from what I believe, at least, Ben Affleck's Batman was angry at Superman because he felt like Superman had no regard for the people. Case in point, the recklessness in his fighting and how he basically tore down a city fighting a bunch of Kryptonians, which I think is a super dope perspective, right? Because if you think about it, we saw Man of Steel where it was a perspective of he's fighting to save the world, but when you flip it, right, and you see a perspective like Bruce Wayne is viewing Superman from some of the people's perspective of like, this alien is ruining our city and killing all these people. And I think that is a very interesting and deep perspective. I just do not think that what happened in the movie.
I agree with you 100% with what you just said.
Exactly. I just don't think that exactly. I just don't think that Zack Snyder wrapped it around well, because every Batman and Superman interaction was just Clark randomly saying, like, next time they see you or whatever, don't come around. But right. There was no actual dialogue of like, dude, like, what you're doing, like, you need self-control. And Martha? Yeah, that too, but I just hate how everyone thinks that every Batman and Superman portrayal is them beefing, when in the comics we barely see them beefing that much. They're actually really good friends, And so, as I said,
but
I wasn't a big fan of that.
Their sons are best friends.
But they are best friends, but they still had an altercation in the Dark Knight Returns, which this movie was heavily inspired from. Number one. Number two, have you ever watched the Ultimate Edition, the 3-hour cut?
Yes.
Okay. I think the perspective is really interesting. I really did like this movie. I think Zack Snyder took a lot of risks with it. I do think this movie still had some problems.
By the way, you're about to get cooked, but yeah. Keep going.
When you watch
I'm about to too, because that's going high up on my list.
When you watch this movie and like you want to enjoy a Batman movie, it's one of the best. I'm sorry, it is. It's a great Batman movie. Ben
I'm about to
Affleck
get
as
cooked with you,
Batman
so
was great, and like I also
the suit,
the suit was dope. The Ben Affleck Batman in BVS was similar to the Ross, director Ross's perspective of the Avengers in Civil War, and I thought that was dope. And you don't see that a lot in the comic book movie or comic book in general. So I think Zack Snyder went to a place that few people go. And I think this movie even came out before Civil War.
Okay. So now, since you brought up the Dark Knight Returns, right? Now that you brought up the Dark Knight Returns, and I was legit waiting for you to bring this up because this is where now I got you in a trap, Comic Cuts. I got you in a trap. Now I'm about to put you in a pot and cook you. Okay. This is where I cook you, Comic Cuts. Okay. So let's not forget, my guy, that in the Dark Knight Returns, right? That is after there are tens of years of him and Superman having a relationship and building something. But look, I have nothing against them having beef, bro. My problem is that they have beef and is not communicated the right way. Like, as a viewer, they show you the beef, but like the beef to me looks senseless because no one has communicated why they hate each other. It's just random. Like, okay, Superman is
they did though. They did because
where
as Bruce Wayne.
But
no, they do it at Lex Luthor's house when it's Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. It's not in the suit. But they did.
But how much did Lex Luthor really set that up? How much time did they spend having Lex set that up?
What does it make a difference if Lex set that up?
No, I'm saying how much time did they let him in the movie? How much did they show him setting them up to go? I mean,
that isn't. But look, Comic Cuts, that isn't enough for me that we get one petty conversation in the beginning of Batman vs Superman, and then we don't hear anything else about it because
that was like dead center middle of the
no. Clark Kent and Ben. Are we talking about the 3-hour cut?
Yeah.
I don't care, bro. 3-hour cut or not, bro. Like I'm talking about the cut that everybody saw, bro. I'm talking about the cut that everybody saw, bro.
The 3-hour cut's the good one.
Bro. Yeah. All I'm saying is this, bro. I was expecting way more communication between Batman and Superman, saying, "Yo, this is how you fix things. This is how you need to do it." And I don't think that building this random behind beef, it just didn't work for the story, in my humble opinion. Okay. Anyways, and then on top of that, if you're thinking about the lore itself, how in the heck, right? And I have complained to you about this for almost like 6 months at this point. It is wild. It blows my mind that in Batman vs Superman, we get a prime Superman and we get an old behind Batman. How the heck has Batman had a Robin at this point? And he has done all of these things, yet him and Superman have yet to meet. It is crazy to me that Superman is in his prime while Batman is darn near 50 years old in this movie. That makes no sense to me, bro. Because him and Batman have grown together over time, just like in the Dark Knight Returns when Batman was old, Superman was old. They were both old heads. So it's like, to me, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of what Batman and Superman were here to do. I believe that a part of Batman and Superman butting heads was because they were young and naive and super arrogant and cocky. And then we saw as time goes on that they grow together. And yes, they have another conflict, but that's been over time. But when you literally do this random plot where Batman's old and Superman's young, it doesn't make sense. Like in the future, it doesn't to me because
that Batman was older. I thought that made it cool.
It didn't, bro. It made it whack, and it made no freaking sense. It made no freaking sense.
See, bro, I love the movie. I love the 3-hour. I don't get how Lex Luthor just. I mean, how do you get them to fight? How do you pit Superman against Batman so quickly? There was no relationship.
Oh my goodness, man! Oh, you guys, y'all BBS fans. Okay, all right. So we are. We are going to. What's up, bro?
No. I look. I love the costume, and I thought Ben Affleck did a great job as Batman. And I love Henry Cavill too as Superman, definitely, without a doubt.
I love Cavill, but I don't like. I'm not going to get into this because this is going to spur into another 10-minute conversation, and I'm going to start flipping out about Henry Cavill. I love Henry though. Okay, now we're going to
All right.
number 6. Okay, number 6. Excuse me, guys, just burped. All right, Comic Cuts, give me your number 6, my brother.
All right, hold on. So I said Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, and I'm not going in my order right now. And I said Batman 89, so I'm going to go Batman Returns. And the reason I'm going Batman,
You said Batman
Returns is because, listen, and this includes Batman Returns, Batman 89, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. When I sit down to watch a Batman movie, all of these movies do not count from the movies I'm choosing from. Quite simply, I just don't see these as like the right fit in Batman like at all. And the Penguin was like weird as hell in this. Like, yeah, it was cool he ran for mayor, but like, come on. I mean, the whole movie is just. Don't tell me you watch this movie and enjoy it. It sucks. I haven't seen it in like since I was a kid, and I have no desire to rewatch it. And to the point that I just remember how much I hated it, and it sucks.
Which Batman again? I'm sorry.
This is Batman.
It was Michelle Pfeiffer and Dane DeVito, right?
Correct.
You told me
Correct.
that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Batman Returns. Okay, all right. I can't argue with that.
I can't.
My brother. Nope. What is your number 6, bro?
Mine?
Yeah, bro.
Bro, I didn't rate the list. I'd go with man, I hate saying this, but what was it? Was it Dark Knight Rises, or did I say that one already? The one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah. So you said Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, that's Dark Knight Rises.
I said the one with Heath Ledger.
So Dark Knight.
Because the Dark Knight. Only for the simple fact that I liked Heath Ledger as a Joker, and I think he did a great job. And I think he's the one that really carried the movie through.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, he had all these.
You're muted.
Going on and everything else, but I mean,
we hear you.
Am I muted or
no? Okay. No, you're good now.
No, but I mean, when he put that pencil on that table, that had to be the best part of the movie for me. And then him in the nurse's gown, and he committed so much to that part that makeup was just like, that's why he was licking his lips all the time, because he was allergic to it. So. I mean, I'd have to say that because Christian Bale doesn't pull a Batman to me. He doesn't do it. The villain in that movie did it to me. That's what did it for me.
Bet. Good, bro. Okay. So my number 7, or my number 6.
Movie too, so.
I wish. Okay, so my number 6 is The Dark Knight Rises. And for me, this isn't a bad placement. I think The Dark Knight Rises is the second best movie in the Nolan trilogy. I for some reason I love The Dark Knight Rises. I still have the freaking DVD. I don't like Bane. I am not the biggest fan of Bane, but I am happy that Bane shows us in the film how bad Batman's fighting actually is. I'm kidding. So as much as I dislike the Dark Knight films, I do love how it's so stupid. But I do like how we kind of get on, like they kind of honor Batman Begins by making Talia al Ghul kind of like the secret mastermind that was kind of moving all of the parts. I was a very big fan of that.
Yeah.
I was a very big fan of that. Yeah. I also was I love Anne Hathaway. I've always been an Anne Hathaway fan. Princess Diaries is fire to me. I think she was a great cat woman. Now I don't like the way Nolan had her in the film, but I think she did much with what she had. I feel like if Matt Reeves had someone like Anne Hathaway, I think she would have been way better, in my opinion. But I think that she did well in the film. And I also really liked her and Christian Bale's chemistry was amazing on screen. They have really great chemistry on screen.
Yeah.
I also was just a big. I mean, like coming off of Dark Knight, I just really liked how Batman was just out of shape. He's giving up on everything, and he's kind of finding his way back to becoming the Batman. And I also love how like when he comes back, it's not a hero's welcome. It is like the cops hate him. And they're trying to go after him and find him and stuff. I now.
Not all of them.
But most of them, the majority. But I will say one of the things that I hated. Okay, I hated the cop. I thought it was stupid. How the heck did this dude find out that he was Bruce Wayne from seeing him when he was a kid at a freaking like that was so stupid. He was like, yeah, I saw you come to my orphanage and I knew you were Batman. Like that was the dumbest thing ever. So stupid.
I thought that was pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. Okay,
I don't know. I mean,
hold on.
I forgot him.
Hold on. Let me just go on my soliloquy, okay? Okay, because I have a lot to say. Okay, so yeah, I thought that was stupid, and then to do the Robin job to make him Robin was also dumb. Like to be honest, bro, I thought that where the road was going in this film, I thought that for the final battle, he was going to give him another Batman suit that was upgraded. I thought it was going to go that route. Like I really thought that they were going to try to do something like Batman Beyond type ish, but they didn't. Which is fine because I said I can't stand Nolan films anyway. But but I wasn't a big fan of the cop. Bane was the low light of the whole entire movie. And it is just hard in a realistic way that Christopher Nolan portrayed the Batman to have a character like Bane in the film. I think that you could have done a villain like Hush. I felt like Hush would have been really good in this Christopher Nolan type of trilogy because he could have gone the route of using like a military sniper and doing something like that. That would have been awesome. But yeah, man. And as I said, the Dark Knight usually has its usual tropes. The fighting is beyond terrible. The Batman suit sucks. I mean, there's nothing new with the usual Christian Bale stuff. But other than that, I mean, it's all right. It's all right to me. It's okay.
It's still a Batman movie. At the end of the day, it's still Batman.
Yeah, and it's still a Batman you consider when you're watching a Batman movie. But here's the thing, and this was the one thing I think this ranking does a disservice to. I think that I think the Dark Knight trilogy works it's really meant to be one unit rather than three separate movies.
It plays into itself.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is, obviously Batman Begins is the origin story.
Right. I don't like putting these down low.
The Dark Knight is, really the most, that's the most hero story you get out of almost any comic book movie ever. Number one, number two, and three. Batman. The Dark Knight Rises is his redemption after ruining his reputation for the sake of doing what's best for the city and putting the city above his needs. And he had to come back and redeem his image after he tarnished it and sacrificed his own image to save the city. So, I think that as a trilogy, this is more of a unit than three movies than any other trilogy out there. And I think it's a disservice to rank them because it really does belong in one slot rather than three separate slots.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Right now, the only reason why they will low for me is just Christian Bale, bro. And it has nothing to do with his acting. It really doesn't. It's just I've seen clips, I've seen things on him and the way he is with people when he's acting, and he treats people like shit. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you haven't seen these videos that
I
viral.
haven't. But I
But
will
that also
say
has nothing to do with his
with the
acting, you know,
movie.
because
Right.
because look,
No,
right?
no, his
Look,
acting,
yeah,
his acting's great.
because Ezra's a nightmare, but he acted his butt off in a flash, you know,
Well,
and
no,
so yeah,
actually, we talked about that. We talked about, Ezra's like, choking girls, all kinds of crazy stuff, but his acting, phenomenal.
Yeah.
exactly, and
We
as I say, you
try
know,
to
it doesn't
separate it. We try to
exactly,
separate it.
yeah, exactly
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
this space, you know,
Most of these actors are egomaniacs,
it's
and
scumbags. It's the
they
reality.
let
Yeah.
their demons, which for egomaniacs, their demons are crazy, and they let their demons get the better of them all the time. Listen, I love Christopher Nolan's movies. I can't stand him as a person, and not because he did anything crazy bad. It's just because he doesn't let you watch his movies in Dolby Atmos at home, and that
Here we
drives
go.
me fucking nuts.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
right.
Oh
Exactly. And
boy.
exactly.
Oh shit.
And so yeah,
Now I'm
so
gonna
yeah,
get
bro,
cooked
like
by C. We're getting cooked by C soon.
yeah. So bro, I'll be completely honest. Um I don't like using that as an excuse because then we could do that for the whole entire like MCU, right? I could say Thor Dark World, even though the movie's not the best, which I'm starting to like now, which is hilarious. But even though it is even though it is viewed as one of the worst MCU films ever, you could say, oh, but you know, these movies
No,
aren't
but
supposed to be viewed.
it's
No,
different
that's
though.
bull
It's
crap, bro.
different. It
No,
is
it's not,
different.
bro.
It
It's
is
not different.
different
It's not
because
different.
It is and it isn't because they don't run into each other, but they're still all Thor movies. They're still all based on Thor, but they don't run into each other.
right. That's my point. Like Batman Begins goes straight into the Dark Knight, goes straight into the Dark Knight Rises, and there's no other trilogy that played itself like a three-parter the way the Dark Knight did.
Right,
So, like,
and Thor
yes,
doesn't
I
do
get
that.
what you're saying. It's kind of like
So
a cheap cop out, but if you watch the Dark Knight Rises, the Dark Knight trilogy, like consecutively, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I just like to me, right? Regardless of what happens, the inconsistencies in the movie are inconsistencies, and you know, my G, that those inconsistencies are real. And if for me, as I said, I like the Dark Knight Rises, but there are a lot of inconsistencies in the film, and I feel like Nolan was just throwing in stuff because I'm not gonna go as far as to call him a lore killer because there is a movie in his trilogy which I think is one of the best Batman films of all time, which you will see in my rankings. But anyways, okay. All right, now we are going to number 5. Okay. Comic cuts, bro. What is your number 5?
BVS. Listen, I like I was saying, I think Ben Affleck's take on Batman is very accurate. I loved it. I like what Zack Snyder did with the character. I think it was dark. I think it was gritty, but I still think it was commercial and theatrical. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on the commercial theatrical part. I think I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition 3-hour cut. And by the way, if you go to watch it on HBO Max or Max now, that's what you're going to
Max,
see.
yeah.
You're not going to see the theatrical version.
Mm.
I think we've covered this movie enough that you see where I stand on it. The one big flaw for me in this movie was the Doomsday fight at the end. Why was there a Doomsday fight? What the fuck? They should like maybe do a Lex Luthor fight. Like, it just drives me nuts. Like, why? It was so random.
I think yeah, it was. I'd have to agree with that. That much of the movie, yeah. Because this, to me personally, this was one of my favorites actually, but only because Ben Affleck, I thought he was one of the better Batman, and the suit. I mean, Jesus Christ, just the suit alone could carry the movie. It was like the whole detective,
Right.
So
Okay,
but
Bullet. What
the
is
Doomsday
your
thing
sorry?
killed it.
Yeah. Bet.
No,
All right.
yeah.
All right, all right, bet Brody. What is your number 5?
All right. All right. What have I listed off so far? We went through. I think the only one. Well, I did. I'll have to admit, I did like the first Nolan running Batman with Christian Bale. So
Batman
Batman
I
Begins.
can't
Begins.
say. Yeah, I can't say that one because I really did actually like that. I did like the whole background. You know watching him with Raj Al Ghul. Stuff like that. Um, uh, it would have to come back to another Tim Burton movie. I mean, I don't even really know what's left.
We have I know what's left on my list.
Well,
But,
you know what's first on my list, which
Yeah.
we just got ripped apart for. So,
Right.
so I mean, what do we have left? I mean, because I thought Val Kilmer I thought he did a good job.
So you want to do Batman Forever?
Yeah, I probably have to say yeah, definitely.
Awesome. All right. Why do you like that movie?
Why did I like it? Uh, I mean, it didn't seem as corny as Batman and Robin. So that enough right there to me is like, all right, I'm not watching Chris O'Donnell, you know, fight all these punks and kids with day glow lights like they're at a rave with Alicia Silverstone jumping in as effing Batgirl out of nowhere. Yeah, I mean she's never been fucking trained. Part of my language, you know what I'm saying? Never. They don't ever show her trained. They don't ever show her background. You get no background info on her, right? He's at least they at least show his like circus experience in that movie. You know what I'm saying? So he's at least got like some kind of like agility, Olympic, training, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I mean that's. Yeah, just
I think that, by the way, Batman '89 all the way through to Batman and Robin are like, if you ever want an example of studios doing a disservice to their movies, all four of those are good examples.
If you say Michael Keaton's two movies one more time, I'm going to choke you when I see you next weekend. I swear to God, I'm going to call Michael Keaton myself, and I'm going to have him come and pimp slap you. I swear to God. If that man was good enough to be in the Flash, he will pimp slap you faster than grease shake coming out of a big girl's ass.
Well, you know what? As long as you're not sending over someone in Batman nipples, I'm all right with it.
You know what? I'll wear the Batman nipples. I'll wear just the breastplate with like nipples like my finger long, like this.
Oh my God!
Like this. What are you gonna do now, see? What's up now? I'll beat you with my Batman nipples. What's up?
Oh man!
How you doing?
Oh goodness!
Getting Batman nipple slapped.
Oh my God! What is happening right now? What are we becoming? Okay.
Look, you know what we look. You know what we need? We need Nightwing movies. We need Red Hood movies. This is what we need.
No, we don't.
We need to expand.
No.
Yeah, we do. I think so. I love Nightwing.
Not solo. But we will definitely get into the Robin stuff after, because Robin is my favorite superhero of all time. So I will.
Yeah, mine too.
I will get into it. Okay, so my number 5 is Batman Returns. I think that Batman Returns is a great movie. I disagree with Comic Cuts. I do think some of these Batman films, I don't think all of them are aging well, but I do think some of these movies are aging in a very good, great way. I have always loved Batman Returns. I actually like it more than Batman '89, and one of the reasons why I like it more than Batman '89 is because you guys might think I'm crazy. I love the Penguin.
Me too.
The Penguin in this movie, yes. The Penguin, yes. He made the entire movie for me. I like my love for Penguin. The Penguin became one of. Huh?
What about Michelle Pfeiffer though? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she all right. But to me, like my love for the Penguin came from Batman Forever, and even Michelle Pfeiffer as well. And one thing that Michael Keaton's Batman did, those two films that I really liked, and what was also copied the in the other Batman films, like Batman Forever, which I love as well. I think I love Batman Forever. And one of the things that I didn't like about the Nolan films is that they let go of the mystical side of Batman. They let that go. And for me, being a comic book fan, when you are taking on a character like the Batman, you have to figure out how to keep mystical elements in your Batman movies. And that's why, even to an extent, I think that Matt Reeves is even taking a easy route, the same route that Christopher Nolan took. I think that doing practical Batman films aren't hard. You're just making this dude basically like Jack Reacher or like James Bond, just that he's wearing a Batman suit, and you're just making it super dark. And Bruce Wayne is a good enough character himself to where you don't have to involve mystical elements into films. But here's the thing: Batman needs mystical elements. Without that, to me, it's not a Batman film. So I like that they integrated, mystical elements like Michelle Pfeiffer falling off the roof and then getting saved by cats, and the cats biting her, and now she has powers to where she has lives. I think stuff like that is awesome, and so I think, to me, that was a big W to include that. Now, with that also being said, some of this acting is egregiously terrible. Um, the cuts in the movie, the pacing was egregiously terrible. The whole entire idea of the Penguin being trying to be a big businessman and all this, it was and I think that in the Batman movie, I think Penguin is great, but like, as I said, they try. I mean, Tim Burton did all that he could, but I do feel like, to an extent, Batman Forever started to become another movie around certain parts. Like like during certain parts of Batman Forever, it didn't feel like Batman, and so that's where I kind of dislike some parts of the film. But all in all, I think this is a top 5 Batman movie, and I also think this is Michael Keaton's best performance as Batman until the Flash.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Flash, so I can't agree, but I bet I would agree with that.
The Flash was like Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, so I do like the movie,
I'm
but
gonna beat you.
Yeah,
how do you not like Michael Keaton?
Yeah, but I also think that this is a greater convo that needs to be had, because I really do believe that directors are cheating the game with Batman when you make Batman super practical and you don't use things like the Lazarus Pit, and those type of the elements that are important to Batman as a character,
right?
And so
You think
they don't even mention that.
Comic cuts.
Do you think Matt Reeves is going to use the Lazarus Pit? I agree. I would love to see the Lazarus Pit, but I don't think it's no, bro. And that's why I have such an issue with this, with the road that Batman movies are going, because they are becoming so practical. And yes, it looks cool for a time, but to me, I feel like Batman becomes very dry when you just keep digging the practical well, because Batman
becomes more basic.
Exactly, because Batman's universe is not so practical. That's why I have respect for Tim Burton and for and for guys that made Batman Forever and Batman Returns more than Nolan and Reeves, because it's not hard to make a practical film. And one of the main reasons why the older Batman films have failed comic cuts is because they didn't try to make them super practical. I mean, think about it, right? Their approach to Batman and Robin was, we are using so many mystical elements with Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze that the only way to make it make sense is to make it a comedy. And that's why the movie failed. What Matt Reeves needs to figure out, and if he figures this out, he's going to become the greatest superhero director of all time, which probably won't happen. I think that somebody like Andy or the Russos could probably figure this out, is how can I make a serious dark Batman movie while still having mystical tones to the film? And until they figure it out, the movie's going to be mid, and that's why I hope that we get a. And guys, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but that's why I hope that we get characters like
No, so
Clayface
I mean,
and characters
the
like that
Lazarus Pit.
in the Matt Reeves films, because we need we need that.
You know who had the Lazarus Pit? Gotham.
Andy.
Oh,
Gotham was fucking awesome. I don't think the Lazarus Pit was in The Flash, was it?
No, it was
yeah,
not.
it was. Was it? It wasn't.
You didn't
I
see
thought
The Flash.
they.
We're talking about the movie.
Oh, the movie. All right. I was thinking
In the show, yes.
Yeah.
In the Arrowverse,
Yeah.
it is there.
Yeah,
and look,
Grant Gustin.
and look,
it's
bro.
in Gotham, and Gotham was sick.
But look, right?
And in Titans, it was in.
Exactly. And I think that like a show like The Arrow, it is a perfect example of like they valued some of the mystical elements to the lore, but also made it very serious. And that's the route. And going that route, I think that's going to really make Batman like he's already a universal character, but it's going to expand him in such a wild way, and and we have yet to see that done well in movies, and there's no other man that could do this more perfect than somebody like James Gunn, taking the helm. So I hope to see that in The Brave and the Bold.
The question: do you not give any respect to Zack Snyder for Batman beating Superman in a fight? I mean, isn't that the closest thing in modern day Batman to having a mystical element in it?
Batman has always had a contingency plan for everybody in the Justice League.
I know,
even himself.
I know, and I know that it's comic accurate and all that, and Batman's the GOAT, and Batman is my number one favorite hero, so I definitely understand that.
Exactly.
But to normal audiences who would never expect Batman to be able to beat Superman, you don't think that's the closest thing?
But here's the thing.
But that's where it comes into the transition from the comics to the movies, where they leave stuff out in one movie and then they put stuff in one movie and they leave other stuff out.
No.
Where,
Look. Here's the thing. You don't need a character as strong as Superman to show off the mysticism of the Batman universe. Like I'm not
you do.
And BVS did show it. Yeah, and look,
I think BVS is the closest thing to what you're talking about that exists.
You just want me to kiss Zach's butt.
No,
Okay, so
I
will say this.
I like Zack Snyder too. So
now look, bro. But look, I look. So
I'm not saying kiss his ass. He's not the best, but I think he did all right job.
But look, I will say that Zack Snyder did honor the mysticism of the Batman universe, but I am talking about like in a strictly solo film just about Batman. Like they like directors have to figure that out because what Matt Reeves' Batman is going to become is just another Dark Knight. And to me, if you don't honor these things, like I think you failed because you can't
Matt Reeves is way more practical than the Dark Knight.
This movie is very more practical than the Dark Knight. I 100% agree. But I will say though, there are key things that he left out, like the League of Shadows, and if they just don't exist, I am going to go Super Saiyan on the Batman. And as much as I think Robert Pattinson and as much as I think Robert Pattinson is the greatest Batman of our time, if he tries to BS us and not involve the League of Shadows and Ra's al Ghul and the Lazarus Pit and these things, that he's missed the boat with Batman. Because look, we've already got the freaking practical Batman, bro. We got the Nolan films. We saw how that will work. So why do we need to see that again? And that is how I feel. I think
it's a little different because it's detective, but I still get your point.
Yeah, and look,
we also don't want to piss him off and have his hair go blue and spiky either. So,
and bro, look, I have nothing against the first Batman being very practical because it is a new Batman he's figuring out, but to not involve the League of Shadows and to not involve mystical elements, like most of Batman's villains are mystical, bro. Like it's not fair, and what makes now I'm on this tangent, but we're gonna get to
but you're right, right.
Yeah, exactly, but like what makes us value Batman so much, Comic Cuts, isn't how he can he can take down a normal human being. It is the fact that he's taking out people like Bane, who's literally juiced up to the gills and the strongest freaking Superman. It is for the fact that he's taken out super like meta human forces with just his knowledge. And like when we're just getting these practical behind films,
he's the GOAT superhero and he has no superpowers.
Exactly. And so they have to showcase that in the
what
movies.
He does, it's his brain. I mean, besides his money, it's his brain.
But that's not.
I mean, it's like everybody's playing checkers. He's playing chess. He's always 7 moves ahead.
Yeah. So that is my tangent on what the Batman films need, and they need to like figure it out. Because I swear to you, comic cuts and look at me and fans, I am saying this clear as day. If they mess around and give us another practical Batman movie, I'm going to riot. I swear to you, I'm going to riot. I promise you, I'm going to make 5 videos for every day trashing the Batman. And you guys know how much I hold the Batman movie in a very high regard. That is my favorite superhero film of all time. I will trash the whole entire trilogy. I will trash Matt Reeves, and I will legit go to the early screening and I will trash it right in front of the people that were there, because that's how pissed off I would be. Okay, all right, so
be at an advanced screening for the Batman Part 2. I'll tell you that.
We will. Warner Bros. Hook us up. Okay, so we are going to our 4th favorite Batman films, comic cuts. All yours.
Okay. Dark Knight Rises. Listen, this movie, yes, it had its problems, but given my comments before about this trilogy being a unit, number one, and coming off of the Dark Knight, Batman, sacrificing his own public image and reputation to save the city and do the right thing and really take a hero journey. And going into the Dark Knight Rises, as an old man, kind of out of it, coming back into the fold, getting kind of played by Bane and Talia al Ghul, but coming back, coming off into the sunset, dropping the bomb. I mean, listen, this movie is number 4 because, the rest of this list is all absolute fire. But this movie, don't make mistake. I still hold this in really high regard. I love watching this movie. I still watch it probably a couple times a year. It was incredible. And Bane, could have been done a little bit better, sure. But I still like Tom Hardy's Bane. I don't hold Tom Hardy, accountable for, Christopher Nolan's mistakes, not being comic accurate with Bane. But listen, this was a great movie. I loved Christian Bale, Anne Hathaway, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Tom Hardy. I thought this entire movie was incredible, flaws or not. I really love this movie.
Dark place.
Oh God!
I bet. All right, brother. What is your Bullet? What is your 4th favorite Batman film?
Well, we know Michael Keaton. The Michael Keatons are up there. So I got those 2, and I still got. You're gonna hate me for number 1.
Well, you're gonna
get up. You're gonna get up and walk out of the chair for my number
Don't
1.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. Just go number 4.
He already knows. He ain't stupid.
What is it?
I already said.
Is your number 4 Batman? No. What is your 4? Is it Batman 89?
No. That's part of my 2nd favorite.
So what is your 4th favorite Batman
Actually,
film?
no. That's my 1st favorite. It's my 1st favorite. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, which one is your number 4?
Shit. I can tell you 1, 2, and 3 right now. I didn't make my list, man. I'm sorry. I'm completely unprepared. I thought we were gonna go through the Robin and shit tonight. So I busted out all my Nightwing and Damian and.
Hey, you're good. You're good. We'll definitely talk Robin after this.
I love Nightwing.
Okay, we will.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear what you love about that.
All right. So what's left besides the two? What's left besides the two Batman, Tim Burton ones?
I think you have Pattinson and
No, that was at the bottom. That was close to the bottom.
So I
But
think
it was just because I wanted to see the Riddler have more. It just seemed like it was dragged out. Like I said, I liked the movie, but it was just
all right.
I wanted to see more from the Riddler.
Let's come back to you. Come up with your number 4, and we'll come back.
But I could give you my top 3. So that would eliminate.
Let's go everyone's 4, and then we'll go with you.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
I bet. So my 4 is my 4 is Batman Forever. But Batman Forever is actually one of my favorite Batman films of all time. I think that Val Kilmer's Batman is very underrated, and I think he gets a lot of hate for no reason. I just think that the whole entire I think that Batman Forever is a really big deep dive into the mind of Batman, and I just don't think that we've really gotten it. And I do think that the Batman gives us a deeper dive into the mind of Batman because we're watching every movie that he makes, but in the film. But Val Kilmer shows in a very interesting way his love to be Batman. Like Val Kilmer's Batman was so obsessed with protecting the people that he yelled he is the Batman in front of thousands of people at a circus. Or was it a circus? I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. No,
it was. Yeah, in Batman Forever. Yeah, so I
just want to say his acting is on point. I mean, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
So I think he was one of the Batman.
Yeah, other than I think Val Kilmer, and I don't know if I will say this because I do think Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne was great, but I do think Val Kilmer has one of the best Bruce Waynes of all time. I really enjoyed just Val Kilmer's performance. Now fighting wasn't focused on in this film, so I got to dock it because you guys know I think Batman's fighting should be a focus, and when it's not, I get pissed off. But they did put my favorite character in there, which was Robin, and I think that in this film Robin was done okay. As I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of the actor of Robin in this film.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah, he was just too annoying for me, and I wanted more of a younger kid because I felt like in this universe, or at least in this film, you could have gotten by using a 14-year-old Robin, in my opinion. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that. Oh,
he was supposed to be.
Exactly. So I wasn't really the biggest. Exactly, but he looked like a grown man, bro. So
he looked like he was 30 years old.
Exactly, and
it's like, hey, you're 30, can I adopt you?
Exactly, and that was the era, we were in that era where we always had high schoolers that were like 30 and 40, but I still thought it was whack. And one of the things that I love about what I think Batman movies should do more is there are so many Batman bad guys, and what I hate to my core is when movies act like there's only one Batman villain in the city. So I think the best start, this is the greatest start to a Batman film ever, because the movie opens with him fighting a character that doesn't really mean anything, in the friggin' until the end of the movie, And I love those type of stories, and it kind of gives me vibes to when I saw Captain America: Civil War, when the movie starts off with Captain America fighting Crossbones, but Crossbones wasn't the villain of the movie; it's just a starter bad guy. I love those type of starts because the world doesn't revolve around one bad guy, and with a character like Batman in such a vast universe, and the Batman did this as well when he fought Joker henchmen. It's like I'm loving it, and then I'm gonna rave about the Batman.
Right.
I have to save that.
Well,
but
I was gonna say though,
I love that
in Crossbones and
yeah.
I mean,
that's definitely a topic for another time. I don't want to get us on tangents, but
I don't want to get on that now. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm sorry for that, but that's on me. Yep. But as I said, man, I think that Batman Forever is a very underrated movie, and this is one of my favorite Batman suits as well. I loved Val Kilmer's Batman costume. And I'm not the biggest fan of short bat ears. I like long bat ears. So.
You like him nice and long?
I like the short,
and thick.
I like the Batman
long,
detective ears.
thick bat nipples. That's your
Yeah.
spin.
You get him. You get him next weekend.
Oh God.
I got to stop in and pick up some more stuff. I mean,
I am about to search up Val Kilmer's bat suit just to show you
so
guys. I
so
love it
so
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 much.
far, so
Fire.
Like you got to
Not
be
the
honest, bro.
stupid
This
comics.
suit is BA, bro. It is fire. I'm about
it
to
is.
show it
I'll
right
agree
now.
with you. I'll agree with you. But you know what though? I actually really did like Robert Pattinson's suit too, though.
His suit
Like
was really good.
with the emblem, coming out and everything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was like
Those
that
were
was
knives, like real knives.
yeah,
You could
yeah. That's
draw
what I'm saying.
on
Like,
knives.
and that would be what he would do if it was Batman Year One,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can say I'm wrong, but I think that's
No,
what
I
he would do.
agree. I agree.
He would hide it in his gear. He wouldn't be wearing a bright yellow belt yet,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, that's just my opinion. We all got our own opinion.
By the way,
so.
I hate underwear over pants. They're not trunks. Trunk is the euphemism they use to sell them.
I love, dude. I love this suit, bro. I think this suit is great.
Man, I like it. The ears are too long. That's it. Other than that, I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of long ears, though. That's just me. But anyways, okay, so now we're getting to number.
I actually think it's kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool when
Same.
it came out.
Well, you know what? It depends.
Same.
The ears depends on what costume he's wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many Batman costumes through the years.
And obviously, the nipples are like a broken record at this point, but it really is crazy that we're talking about nipples on this.
Do you have a nipple fetish?
No, I just think it's fucking weird, dude.
I'm afraid to go watch The Flash now.
Like when people talk, I'll shut up during the movie. But when people talk about like there being weirdos in Hollywood, I feel like that's kind of like that,
I think the nipple thing was just like, because the muscle tone, they just felt like, hey, let's just throw some nipples on so that the muscle tone looks more realistic on the outfit.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one.
All right, bet. The next one is where we at, number 3.
I have to agree with that one.
Yeah. All right. So 4. I think this is mine. What was I going to do? Let me check my list. Okay, so I did. Yeah, I'm going to go Batman Begins. Listen, great movie. I still remember when this came out. Absolutely fire. Killer of. First of all, this is the movie that started the origin movie trend. Number 1. Number 2, Christian Bale, Cillian Murphy, and
good actors. They're both good actors. Yeah.
Carmine Falcone. I forget the guy that played him. But all around, and Liam Neeson, obviously. But yeah, great movie, great world building, and the Batmobile. I mean, the Tumbler. Come on, Morgan Freeman.
Was that John Turturro? Or was that in the
no,
the
John Turturro. John Turturro.
That was the Batman.
The Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
I just think that this movie really did a really good job of building the world of Batman. Like, if you don't know anything about Batman and you go into this movie and you watch it, you get a pretty good crash course on a lot of the foundational knowledge that you need to know about Batman and understand them, and also really understand like how Batman is such a good fighter without having any superpowers. So yeah, that's why.
All right, bet. Thank you, bro. What is your number 3?
Yeah.
Bullet.
I'm about to get cooked, y'all. See, here it is. Batman vs Superman.
What a shame.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Hey, look, I said, man, I think Ben Affleck did a great job playing him. I think there was a lot of stuff they left out. He was, like you said, I agree with you. He was a little too old to be playing that part. They could have even made him look younger, though, at least. But yeah. I think he played a good Batman. And
I respect it.
And the costume. I love the detective, the Detective Knight costume. So I mean, and then that's it's not necessarily all that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, almost everything about the movie I liked, except for like you were saying, Doomsday. I mean, come on. I mean,
Yeah,
I remember when I was 18, 19, when they killed off, Superman. I mean, come on.
yeah,
That wasn't no Doomsday. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, it was
yeah,
just so
That's
ridiculous.
when I was still collecting. When I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
17, 18. No, that wasn't no
Um,
Exactly.
Doomsday.
And
That was
yeah,
shit.
and we'll definitely save that for a Superman conversation. But like, it wasn't the fact that they
Yeah.
had Doomsday. It's like because like when Tony Stark dies in Avengers, right? We get emotional because that's 11 years of love for a character. We literally have one Superman movie, and then you kill him off the next film.
yeah,
So I don't want to start a tangent, but it's just crazy. Okay, so my number three.
I agree. I agree too.
Yeah,
I
it's
agree with that.
nuts. It's nuts. So
Yeah.
my number three is Batman '89. Jack
Ah.
Nicholson is my favorite Joker of all time. Um, and
Okay.
I just think this is a great intro into Batman. I mean, let's talk about the iconic things, right? The suit is iconic. The Batmobile is iconic. And yeah, I mean, this movie is just to me when I think of iconic, this movie comes to mind. Now, as I said, I do have a lot of beef with this movie, as people know. I've made a video about why. But
I
as I
gotta
said,
check
I
that
think
out.
I will drop the link. But I think that like for
All right.
Michael Keaton coming out as the very first Batman, that was serious. I think it was good, and I think that Jack Nicholson's Joker carries a lot of this film. But I do think that this movie does hold a lot of weight. And yeah, I mean, I can't really go on to say more, but I think this movie is utterly amazing. Yes, some of the fighting is cringe, just like all the other ones have been, except
Yeah.
BBS. But all in all, man, I think it's great.
I think you nailed it on the head anyway. I mean, yeah, it's cringe the fighting, but everything else, I mean, like you said, it's nailed, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly. All right, now we're on to number two. Cuts. What is your number two, bro?
The Batman, amazing movie. I know,
I'm
Stevie's
getting
already
so
upset
roasted
that.
for this. You guys
Yeah.
are never gonna
No,
have me
I'm
on
not
again.
mad. I'm not mad,
All
bro.
right, all right. So,
I just wish
Yeah.
I wish the real had more of like the hush,
all right, all
like
right.
going
Well, let
on.
me speak on it. Let me speak on it.
I'm
So,
sorry. Yeah. I'm
all
sorry.
good. The Riddler, listen, like I loved that it was a mystery. I think that this movie, coming off of what I said about Batman Begins before, like this movie took that and did it on steroids. This movie was a masterclass in Batman world building. Yeah, I wish it touched on fighting and had a little more action. That's like really my only complaint about the movie, but I still love it. And you know, but coming off of like I just think the way they told the story of Batman being a master detective and everything he unfolded throughout the entire movie and the Riddler revealed, you learned a
Right.
lot about Batman and his
But don't you
history
think that was?
in the
I think
process.
that was the goal to show the detective part, like side of him
Yeah.
before
And,
the. Yeah, you
and,
know.
and that's my
I
point.
kind of wish I didn't say that was my least favorite.
Yeah. So I don't know why you
Because
did. It was
no, because
amazing.
I like the detective part. I just wish Paul Dano, he had more of like a Riddler, like
Yeah. I also
just
think like, the Joker henchman in the beginning, genius, smart to do the 5 minute as a deleted scene. I get why they didn't put it in the movie. It would have thrown everyone off of focusing on the Riddler. I thought Zoe Kravitz killed it as the Catwoman. Um, I'm blanking on his name now, but he did
I
amazing as
agree.
James Gordon. That actor also plays. He played Felix Leiter in the recent James Bond movies. Fire. Matt Reeves had absolutely everyone talking about the
I can't
Batman
remember his name either.
when this movie came out. And yeah, just a masterclass in world building and a crash course on Batman. And by the way, shout out to him for making this movie 3 hours. If you really love a movie, why wouldn't you want to watch a longer version of it? So, yeah.
I agree. What is your number two, Bullet?
Well, you know what mine are gonna be? It's gonna be with the Batman with Penguin and Michelle Pfeiffer, and then I mean it's just Danny DeVito just brought the Penguin to life for me. He had that whole Oswald Cobblepot trying to play, hey, I'm just a normal guy. Michael Keaton. I mean, I grew up. I'm probably like what 10 years younger than you guys.
Older.
That was that. Yeah, I'm 42.
Yeah, I'm
So
32.
yeah. So I mean, like that was my Batman. So like yeah, that's easy number two for me. I think Tim Burton. I don't know, man. I don't even want to get into Tim Burton right now because I'll go off on a tangent.
Yeah. My number two is Batman Begins. I think that Batman Begins is the greatest superhero origin film of all time, other than Iron Man 1. Um, this is the only movie that I will respect Christopher Nolan for. Um, this movie is darn near perfect to me. I mean, there's no other way to say it. The movie is perfect. Because what Christopher Nolan does, and this will be the only time you guys will hear me speak great about this man and the Batman films. Christopher Nolan did something very deep, which was he dug into the psychology of Bruce Wayne dealing with not just the idea of avenging his parents, but trying to kill the man that killed his parents, and seeing him make that progression of a man that wanted to just get revenge to becoming an actual full-on hero. That was very amazing. And I also loved in the movie, which 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 I loved, was that this movie clearly showed you that Batman's tech was miles farther than anyone else. You know what I mean? And that was like a recurring thing that you see in all of the Nolan films, that Batman's tech was just levels above everyone. And
Right.
I love that as well. Batman Begins just showed a lot of different perspectives of Bruce Wayne, that to me it's like, okay, like this is the groundwork that you need to build Batman Begins is such a good is so good of a Batman film that we don't need to see another Batman origin film ever again. That's how good it is, and to me that's like Iron Man 1. That's like Captain America, the first Avenger.
I'm
That's
regretting
like
some
the
of my
man.
choices now.
Yep. That's like Man of Steel. That like lately we've been getting a lot of, like, in the past 20 years we have gotten so many great origin films. So yeah, that's why I
Right.
have Batman Begins at number two.
Just you saying that makes me regret some of the ones that I put in my order.
It's all good, bro. It's all
Because
good.
I have to agree. You're right. I mean,
No worries, bro. And so now we are at number one. All right,
right,
Commodus, what is your
I
favorite
know.
Batman film of all time?
I got to put my glasses on for my notes on this one, but obviously
Oh
I'm going.
shit.
All right, The Dark Knight is a masterpiece. First of all, the directing and writing on this movie, Christopher Nolan, his approach to the mythos was so grounded. The events and characters were relatable, and most importantly, and this is what I keep saying to you, Stevie. At the time, comic book movies was not such a
Wait,
robust,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
popular.
on, hold on, hold on. What is your number one? You said The Dark Knight, right?
Yeah.
Dark Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So at the time, these movies, the comic book movie genre was not as robust and popular. So that's why it was so important that these characters were relatable and believable. And that was built on in by developing the complexity of them, and really with the script of the Joker. And the Joker, was so intense, unpredictable. You know, it was almost like people don't want to see the Joker again, because similar to what you said with Batman Begins, we almost don't need another Joker movie. It was that good. And
Well,
the
unfortunately, we
themes.
got one with Suicide Kings or Suicide
So
Squad. Sorry.
anyway, the themes and the tones of this movie were so complex, and it was really about chaos, morality, sacrifice, identity. It was so unique, and it was like, it's not a typical superhero movie. It was really more like a crime thriller, or a complex movie. And that's why, the transitional shots, like Nolan was so genius. He was like one of the first people, I think the first guy ever to really take it out to drive in the viewers' anxiety and making the movie feel faster paced. And the Joker, he really added like the chaos, pushing Batman to the limit, Batman really having to make some really tough choices because of the Joker. And that drove the tension of this movie and really captivated everyone watching it and had everyone talking about this movie when it came out. And, also like this was the hero's, this is the ultimate hero's journey. This is a guy that, and I kept saying it before, that this trilogy is a single unit. This was a guy that started out going to shoot a man in court who murdered his parents, to the end of The Dark Knight. He literally sacrificed his reputation and public image to do what was better for the city. And, listen, the music, the cinematography, the effects, the way Gotham looked, the Tumblr, Batman's technology, you just can't beat it. I don't think there will ever be a Batman movie that is better than The Dark Knight.
With one exception.
Bet. Okay. Bullet, what's your number 2, bro?
I thought we were doing.
I mean, sorry. What is your, my bad.
89.
What is your one?
89.
Why?
I think to put someone like Michael Keaton, who's so diverse, into a Batman costume, and he pulled it off. I mean, Jack Nicholson pulled off Joker. It was even though I'm not a big fan of Tim Burton, like the way he structures his movies, that he tries to be dark, but it's somewhat comes out somewhat corny. The characters still carry the whole movie. You know what I'm saying? And I love Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I really did. I mean, aside from Heath Ledger.
Cool.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I like Michael Keaton. I know you don't, but
I like Keaton.
He's talking to me.
So.
Comic yeah. My favorite Batman movie of all time is The Batman. Robert Pattinson is the greatest Batman of all time. Stamped, put that in your pipe and smoke it. He's the greatest of all time. I think that the Batman is probably the greatest, right? I think that The Batman is probably the greatest hero film that I've ever seen in my life. And I think that it is one of the best because just the movie starts with Batman being just a big scare tactic to bad guys, and he sees that he's not making an effect, right? Because of the fact that he's going from the angle of fear to everyone, and we kind of see in the beginning, right, when he saves that Asian guy, right, that was getting jumped by Joker henchmen. He said he's literally afraid of Robert Pattinson's Batman, but then in the end of the movie, you literally see that Robert Pattinson was carrying that girl, giving her to a first responder, and she wouldn't even let go of him because she felt safe with him. And that shows the character progression of Robert Pattinson's Batman, seeing that the way to make an effect and look, it shows you this, right? The way to make an effect as Batman isn't just by instilling fear into everyone, but it is also showing your love to the people. That's how you make an effect. And that to me was one of the greatest messages that I've seen in a Batman film of all time. I love the Batmobile. I love how Robert Pattinson's Batman doesn't have everything figured out. I love the idea of taking a deep dive on the detective stuff, and I do think that the second one is going to be filled with lots of action. I honestly think that this second Batman film might be the greatest superhero film of all time, depending on what they do with it, because usually sequels are like the best films ever. I
probably agree with you on that.
Yeah, same thing how people view Dark Knight, Winter Soldier, usually after you get the first one, the second one's clockwork. So, but yeah, I mean, I mean, Zoe Kravitz was amazing. I love Andy Serkis as Alfred. I love not having a super old Alfred that legit is
I gotta,
dying
yeah,
while
I gotta
filming.
agree with that though. I think
So
Andy Serkis was great.
yeah, this like the Batman to me, like when I think of a perfect movie that is not like Avengers or something to that degree, I think of the Batman. Now, here's the funny thing: I think the Flash is 10 times better than the Batman, and people know how much of a high regard I hold this movie
Oh,
to. But
I can't wait to see it.
but I will say, man, yeah, the Batman is my favorite movie of all time. So yeah, man. So
No,
now
you made a lot of great points. You definitely did. Like
yeah,
the
for sure.
detective thing, Zoe Kravitz. I mean, like I said, it was just the action for me. You know.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But
Oh,
I mean that's just me. You know. But
yeah,
like you
I feel you.
said, the second one, the follow up, I guarantee, like you said, there's gonna be a bunch of action.
Yep.
They know they need to give the Dark Knight a run for their money in the second
Yep.
one.
And and and
Right.
and, and someone like Matt Reeves, he will. I hope. Okay, so now I
I think
wanna
so.
exactly. So I know we have like probably 6 minutes left of time to record, but I do want to quickly talk about Robin and we can obviously talk about this in a deeper episode. We can break down Robin and all of that jazz. How do you
There
feel
you
about
go.
how do you feel about Damian Wayne being the Robin in Batman Brave and the Bold?
Damien. I mean, I love Damien. So I mean, he's as far as Robins are concerned, it's Damien and it's Nightwing.
Yeah.
They're tied for first. So I mean, I'm gonna say it doesn't even matter if Damien's in
No,
it.
I I love Damien because Damien is so savage and he's such a ruthless fighter. And I think that they did a really good job creating Damien because they make immaturity his weapon. Like that's his superpower, secret, and obviously not a
Right.
superpower, but his immaturity is something that he has that works for him, and nobody else has that.
Shit. I showed you these, the ones I got.
Yeah,
I think I bought them when I was with you that time.
yeah.
The Robin, and with the Lazarus and everything, Lazarus Island. The
Mhm.
series it's a 3 volume series. It's great.
I
It's
gotta check
great. I
that
mean,
out.
it does Damien
Lazarus
so
Island.
much justice.
That's dope.
It's great.
Is
Yeah.
Batman big in it?
But I love Red Hood too though, so I'd have to put him
Yeah.
second.
Is Batman big in the Lazarus Island story?
He's only big in the epilogue. It
Okay.
runs into Batman, and I don't want to really spoil it for anybody,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Damien pretty much runs the show.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that
Yeah.
was great
I like
because I love
Robin.
Damien.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was shocked. I thought we were going to get Dick Grayson first, but I mean, look.
Well, no,
If
like I said, I like Nightwing and him tied for number one.
yeah. Yeah, I just hope that this grows for us to get a full Bat family story. Because one of my I wanted Matt Reeves Batman to lead to a Robin, but with having a Robin in this, he's probably not. So I just hope that we get the whole 9 yards with the Bat family seeing everyone. So and as long as we get that, I'm not going to be mad. That's how I feel. Like I
Yeah.
like the
That would
like
be
Robert
nice.
Pattinson, yeah. And
Yeah,
I think
that'd
that
be
the
nice.
Batman, yeah, and I think that the Batman, the Brave and Bold is going to cook these Matt Reeves movies. My biggest fear is that Matt Reeves, not my biggest fear, but I feel like Matt Reeves movies might fail because like if Brave and the Bold is as successful as it is, it's going to be hard for people to care about what's happening in Pattinson's universe, which is why I think he should have been the Batman of the DCU, but it's whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah,
I
I
wonder.
mean, it's a good point.
I wonder who they're gonna pick because I mean, I don't think
Jensen
anyone.
Ackles, please make it
That's
Jensen
what I was gonna
Ackles.
say. I don't think there's another name that's worth
I'd
mentioning.
have to agree with you on that one, man.
Yeah, yeah, that would be
Yeah, for
dope.
sure. Yeah, that would be for sure, definitely.
Yep.
And I think that listen, I think that the DCU is going to use a couple of things from the MCU to, push off of for their success. And I think one of those should be that their castings should be actors that are not so well known. And I think that's one of the things that Jensen Ackles actually has working for him. He's not, an A-list superstar at this point
What do
in
you?
time. I'm sure he will be, whether he does the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, or something else. I hope it's the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. But I think that the DCU could learn from the MCU by using these actors that not everyone knew, making them become superstars through the MCU, through the DCU. Allow Batman.
I already think he's like an A-lister. So I mean, that's just me.
Listen, I think he will be, but I don't think he is at this point.
Maybe just not as well.
I'll say this, bro. In the TV show world, everybody knows who Jensen Ackles is. Movie wise, no.
No, but if you go into any average household, they don't know who Jensen Ackles is. They know
that is not true, bro. That is not true. Supernatural was a really big show.
Supernatural was what? 12
years? Every teen girl, every girl that from the age of 23 to 40 is in love with Jensen Ackles' character in Supernatural. Supernatural is a really big show.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, I never watched Supernatural, so.
And don't comment because you will hate it.
I did. I watched it. Yo, I'll admit it. I watched it.
Dude, it's all good, bro. I watched the whole thing, and Supernatural is one of the greatest shows I've ever seen in my life. I honestly want to get my
last episode was upsetting. Sorry.
Actually, bro, I'm about to make me and my wife start to binge that probably tonight before we head to bed. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Bullet, thank you for being our guest today, bro. We really appreciate you hopping on. I don't know if y'all see my dog right here. Hold on, let me turn my camera. You see her?
Almost.
Yep.
What's his name?
Her name is Ahsoka from Star Wars. Yep. Ahsoka from Star Wars.
Oh, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I got Jedi I was playing earlier.
Yep. So she's actually a Dalmador. Yeah, she's actually a Dalmador. Okay. She's a Dalmatian and a Labrador mix. So she's funny. But all right, guys, have a wonderful night. Please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you know when we post. Peace out.
Thanks for having me again, guys.